The topic for the video is a critical comparison of the career duties and immunities under the Hague Visby rules, Hamburg and Rotterdam rules. Under this conceptual underpinning, I discussed a few points on career duties and immunities under Hague Visby rules, Hamburg and Rotterdam rules. And also the problems under these rules are also discussed. Here I have mentioned four duties of carrier under Hague Visby rules. The first duty of the carrier is to make the ship seaworthy, and the case law under this point is Northern Shipping Company versus Deutsche Surrey GmbH. The Court of Appeal held in no uncertain terms that in the case the carrier could not plead Article 4 Clause 6 because they had not in the first place provided a seaworthy ship. The next duty is to properly man, equip and supply the ship. Another duty is to make the ship fit and safe for the reception, carriage and preservation. Maxine Footwear Company Limited versus Canadian Government Merchant Marine Limited. The fact of the case is that after the cargo had been loaded, but before the ship set sail, an attempt to do some frozen dry drain pipes with an oxyacetylene torch under the supervision of one of the ship's officers. The pipes were insulated with coke, which was set alight, and the fire spread so rapidly that the ship had to be sunk, destroying the cargo belonging to the Maxine Footwear Limited. It was clear that the phrase before and at the beginning of the voyage in the Article 3 changed the common law and applied to both limbs of the duty to provide a seaworthy ship. The carrier of the duty to the shipper to exercise due diligence that the ship remained seaworthy throughout the period. Since the ship had caught fire through a failure by the carrier to adopt safe working place, the carrier had broken this duty. The another duty is the goods shall be loaded properly and carefully. There are certain immunities for the carrier under this rule. They are immunity in case of unseaworthiness, immunity in case of negligence in navigation or management of ship, immunity in case of fire, uh, perils of sea, act of God, and there are some other immunities. They are riots and civil commotions, saving or attempting to save life or property of sea, act of public enemies. The next topic is carrier duties under Hamburg rules. The carrier has the duty to deliver goods without delay. The other duty of the carrier is to take care of goods. The case law on this topic, on this point, is Donogh versus Stevenson. It is also open to the cargo interest to sue the carrier on his subcontracts for negligence provided it can be shown that the defendant owed the claimant a duty of care, a breach of duty, and that the loss or damage was not too remote. The carrier also has the duty to deliver the goods without any damages. The another duty of the carrier is to bill of lading. As there are duties, there are certain immunities under this rule. Loss that happens during saving life, damages that happens due to the fire, live animals. Article 5 Clause 1 of the rule refers carriage of live animals subject to the general obligations of care outlined in the said article. and the carrier will not be liable for loss resulting from special risk inherent in the kind of carriage. The next topic is carrier's duty under Rotterdam rules. The carrier duty to make and keep the ship seaworthy, properly crew, equip and supply ship, and keep ship so crewed, equipped and supplied throughout the voyage. Make and keep holds and all other parts of the ship in which goods are carried, and any containers supplied by the carrier in or upon which the goods are carried for this carried fit and safe for their reception, carriage and preservation. The immunities under these rules are act of God, perils, dangers, and accidents of the sea or navigable waters, war, hostiles, armed conflict, piracy, terrorism, riots, and the last one is fire on the ship. Next in this video, I'm going to discuss about the comparison. Um, Hague Visby rules applies from tackle to tackle, and Hamburg rules applies from port to port, while the Rotterdam rules applies from door to door. There is no uniform burden in Hague-Visby rules, and in case of Hamburg rules, the burden of proof lies on carrier, except in the case of loss, damage, or damage delay in delivery due to fire, whereas in Rotterdam rules, the burden of proof lies completely on the carrier. The Rotterdam rules applies where the goods are carried partly by sea, partly by road, and um, the port of delivery is in a contracting state. In this, basically, the Rotterdam rules states that the complete um, burden of proof lies on the carrier. Now now I'm moving on to the research aim. To critically The aim of this research is to critically compare the carrier duties under Hague Visby rules, Hamburg and Rotterdam rules. The next aim is to compare the immunities of carrier under Hague Visby rules, Hamburg and Rotterdam rules. Um, Another one is to examine the challenges of the rules, and also to evaluate at what extent the Hague-Visby rules, Hamburg and Rotterdam rules protect the carrier in the carriage of goods by sea. My research questions in this video are: what are the impact of the immunities under Hague-Visby rules, Hamburg and Rotterdam rules? The next question is Rotterdam rule effective than the other rules? Next, I'm moving to the research methods. The research methods in this research are comparative legal analysis. This method helps me in critical comparison of Hague-Visby rules, Hamburg and Rotterdam rules, and their differences, similarities, um, everything is being compared in this by this method. Doctrinal method is the other method that is used in this video. This method will help me to compose detailed analysis on the topic. Next, moving to the literature, commercial law fourth edition by Eric Baskind, Greg Osborne, Lee Roach in 2022. Next, the United Nations Convention on Carriage of Goods by Sea, 1978, Hamburg Rules. International Trade Law, 6th edition by Indira Carr and Peter Stone, 2017. Next, a journal, MC Gill Law Journal by William Tetley, article, volume 9 1, September 1963.